Now, ladies, if you ever find yourself intoxicated against your will, do the following things I'll be sharing later in this video. So, weeks ago, I did a YouTube short on female security. Females. Now, when you go to parties and I understand that most of the time you try to avoid drinks and cigarettes, especially if there are gatherings you're unsure of, right? But then you guys do this and you embrace one of the most dangerous things, which is apart from the fact that this actually has the highest number of views of all my YouTube shorts. A lot of people message me privately asking me to talk in depthly on this topic. So yeah, I am. In this episode, I'll be sharing you female security tips that are very useful, especially here in Africa. By the end of this video, I hope to have damaged a lot of ignorance. So please just do the basics, like, share, subscribe to enable YouTube recommend my video. So number one is whenever you order an Uber, try to avoid sentence like, "Are you the Uber driver?" Rather use a sentence like, "Who are you here to pick?" Now this do this regardless of whether you have confirmed the car number or not. Sort of see this like a two-step verification process to validate your security. Number two is avoid cakes in parties or edibles, as now they take call them, right? So, in continuation of what I dish out to you on my YouTube shorts, most of you ladies avoid drinks and weeds when you go to parties you're unsure of, but then you embrace cake, which in most times have been proven to be mostly laced with marijuana, right? Except it is a wedding party. So the issue here is the intoxication intensity, right? So in a scenario where, for example, if you're drinking and you know that okay, this is a drink, you can caution your intake, right? But for cases of edibles that are being laced and you were not told, right, and you just keep consuming them, on the long run, this can affect you majorly. It can actually lead to what we call a psychotic episode. So, now enough about the distance. Let's talk about the solution. Now, if you ever find yourself in such scenario, number one thing I advise is always try to hydrate yourself to the maximum, right? Address yourself to the extent where you urinate over and over again. Try to use detox pills. That's very paramount. Make sure you eat well and you shower if possible. Now, if you observe, I did not mention anything as regards sleep. Now, even if sleep works, but as a female in such scenario, I will never advise you to ever sleep. Under no circumstance, try to just keep your eyes open, right, while you're trying to fight the episode. So the next on the list is ladies, avoid going to a guy's house you don't know very well, especially if it's the first time. Now this very topic has subsections. It's pregnant with more topics, right? So I would say this as like a rule of thumb. Um, Ladies, if you're meeting a guy for the first time, it's non-negotiable. You actually have to meet him in a public place, right? Especially someone that you're not unsure of, right? And if you must go to his place, if you must actually risk it, I would suggest that you avoid wearing provocative wears. As a matter of fact, I would suggest you wear a jean. Yes, I said it again. Let me repeat it. Wear a jean. Now, why do I say this? A jean doesn't necessarily protect you from being molested, right? But it gives you a fighting chance at least. Now, I know of like two ladies that actually escaped such scenario, right? A rape situation because they were wearing things that were not too accessible, you understand? So yeah, so also when you also go to a guy's place, don't get too comfortable sitting too close to him. You understand? Like try to avoid physical contact to the I try to avoid it at all. I don't want to use it anywhere. You understand? Because the truth is, if a guy wants to make a move, he starts by getting close to you, sitting down, before he moves his hand and all right. So the best thing, if you know you have nothing to do, try to avoid any physical contact, except of course you actually want to, sense mamoko. Actually want to do something. So of course, if you have it in mind that you want to do something with the guy, you can throw away this caution I'm giving you. But if you know you do have such, right? I suggest you stick to this point that I'm saying. So I don't stress further on this topic. Let me just do a summary of the precautionary tips. As a woman, you actually need to know, especially when going to a guest house. So number one is always make sure your phone is charged when you're going to a guy's house. If your phone is not charged, you can as well take a power bank with you. Number two is avoid staying late, right? Because the truth is, most of the time when you try to stay late, you end up sleeping over. You know what I'm talking about. So they let us go back and forth. You end up sleeping over, and when you sleep over, whatever wants to happen. So if you know you don't have anything, avoid scenarios where you have to stay late, and it will now require the guy telling you, okay, I think there's no bus, there's no bike, or there's no Uber. You get. So another thing you can also do is to share your location with your friends. As a matter of fact, I recommend you know you trying to call your friends while you're there, right? Even if it's a fake call, just so he knows that you are being monitored. Yes, you are not alone. Now, number four on the list is on transportation. So try to avoid public transportation that has mail untrue in them, with the condition. Please listen to my condition. With the condition that the loading point is not in the garage. Now, let me re-emphasize so you don't take me out of context. If the unknown vehicle that is picking you is on the highway and not taking you from the garage, please avoid such scenario. Now, am I saying, I'm not trying to tell you that all vehicles with meal in them are evil. They are one chance apples. And I'm not trying to tell you also that women don't participate in such acts. Now, what I'm do saying is majority of people, and I'm sure you can actually ask, right? Majority of people will tell you that when they experience this one chance situation, 10 out of 10 times that in the vehicle they are always on men, especially the small corporate vehicles where you have a man at the middle front and at the back, right? So if you find yourself in such a situation, just try to avoid it. I mean, of course, this is not a cast in stone rule, but this is just, like I said, a precautionary tip. You understand? For private vehicles, try to avoid tinted glasses, right? Those have tinted glasses, because if for tinted glass situation, they can take their time to do whatever evil thing they actually want to do, right? Because of course they know no one is watching, and all, right. So if you find a situation where you see a public a non-tinted and tinted glass, please go for the non-tinted glass, right? So the number five on the list, the last but not the least, is for you ladies that drive. So if you don't drive, you are free to skip this part. You understand? So for lady that drives, if you find yourself in a situation where your car is suddenly bashed, now listen to the condition I'm putting. Number one, you are suddenly bashed. Number two, the environment, the area is sort of like a lonely area. And number three, the car that bashes you, you also discover that there are more than two or three that are there. I suggest you suddenly zoom off, right? So you see, this very topic is something that I actually want to take my time to do. Maybe I'll do a short on it, right? Because I see that it's sort of trending. So in such scenario, you find out that these people, once you get down, you want to para. They can just show you something, right? They can show you an object, it could be a gun, a knife, and such some situation they can even elope with your vehicle. So I'll talk on that in depthly, but just it's better you just try to avoid such situation. If you find yourself in a situation that meets this condition, please just zoom off. Right. So I'll be stopping here. So thank you guys for your time. Like I said, please do like and share and subscribe, right? And I hope I've been able to damage a bit of ignorance in you, right? Yeah, so to do this again. Cheers.